I love vintage cards. Not only are they nostalgic because I used to open them when I was a kid, but also because the artwork was amazing and is now incredibly iconic. And nothing is more vintage than base sets, the first ever set of cards to be printed. I've bought many different collections of vintage Pokemon cards over the last couple months since I got back into Pokemon, but today's video is actually from 6 months ago, when I purchased a full base set collection, and it didn't go very well.
Look, dude, that could have been mine. I just want to own base set.
Ah, he's full on fucked me here. Ah.
Fuck me, he's done that, hasn't he?
So, a little bit of a disclaimer, this video, like most of my other videos, is just me documenting my journey buying Pokemon cards. This isn't a tutorial, please do not do what I do. Please, I'm begging you, just don't do what I do, don't do what— So this is the story of me buying my first ever collection off eBay and how this full base set purchase went horribly wrong. I got back into Pokemon cards around the end of October last year, so naturally, as a lover of vintage cards from back when I was a kid, I started to look at the prices of base set cards and vintage collections. And you might be wondering, if I got into Pokemon cards when I was a kid, then where's your collection from back then? Well, as I grew up, there must have been a point where I stopped playing with these cards and maybe collected Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something else like that, and they were just cleared out to make space for new things. I was a kid, I had no idea, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this video can relate to this and had a similar experience. So it's been a mission of mine to recollect the cards that I used to own. And I don't really remember the ins and outs of what I had, but the main card, the holy grail, was the base set holo Charizard. I've told this story before, but I vividly remember trading a Blastoise and a Venusaur holo for one more Charizard holo. That's right, one more, because I already had two. I just loved Charizard so much, and who can blame me? I mean, look at this card. However, even if I had kept my cards from when I was a kid, they wouldn't be in good condition. The quality would be awful. I had very bad binder behavior. In fact, me getting back into Pokemon about October time last year is probably the first time that I've ever bought a binder. But I've learned in my old age of how to collect Pokemon cards now and look after them correctly. So I'd love to get a collection of vintage cards that are actually in relatively good condition so I can maintain that condition and look at the pretty cards. Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for like a PSA 10 grade. In fact, I'm not even going to be grading them, so it doesn't matter. I just want a nice enough quality that I can look at in a binder and be happy with. So I began scrolling through eBay, like I have done previously with collection videos in the past, searching for Pokemon card collection or vintage Pokemon cards. But eventually it occurred to me, if I wanted to collect base set cards, how expensive would it be to get the whole entire set, like as one collection? Well, that all depends on the condition of the cards and is dictated by the specific condition of one card in particular. You guessed it, the Charizard. This card by itself can be worth £400 to £500 in really good condition. But likewise, in bad condition, it can lose £200 to £300 worth of value. So essentially, if you're buying a whole entire base set collection, the Charizard, this one card, can make or break the whole entire price. So for example, if you bought a collection and the value was based off the quality of a Charizard, and the seller, oh, I don't know, completely lied about the condition of this Charizard, it would mean that if you bought that collection, you would then be overpaying by quite a considerable amount if the Charizard wasn't in the condition you were expecting it to be in. Hopefully that foreshadowing was nice and subtle and didn't spoil what's going to be happening in the rest of the video. Even though this was my first big collection, I still had a good idea of the conditions of cards, and that finding mint condition base set cards is basically going to be impossible, especially for my price range. So let's talk about the condition of cards that I'm after in this video, and we'll use base set Mewtwo as an example. This is a mint Mewtwo. Unfortunately, I don't have a mint condition Mewtwo, so for this one, I'm using an example from Randolph. Shout out to the GOAT. Now, this would be a pack fresh Mewtwo. On the scale, it would be a 9 or 10 out of 10, and is definitely mint. No whitening and nothing discernibly wrong on a quick glance. It would be incredibly rare to find a collection of this quality, and if it existed, it would be incredibly expensive. Now, moving down the scale, this is a near mint card, which is anywhere between 8 to a 6 on the scale. This is the kind of quality you would expect to see from a relatively expensive collection. A very light scratch may be detected only upon close inspection. Corners may have slightly graduated fraying. Moving down the scale a little bit more, this would be an excellent card. or what colloquially might be called light play. There is easily visible damage to the card, whether it's whitening or scratches, but still looks great in a binder or if you squint your eyes a little bit. And this is the kind of condition that I am after a full base set collection of. It's like the Goldilocks of it's not going to be too expensive, but it's also not in really bad condition. Moving down the scale again, this would be a medium or heavy play card. Very visible whitening on all edges, hollow breaking through on the front edges, and probably big scratches or a bend somewhere on the card. This personally would be too far gone for me and what I'm looking for out of a collection. It's like damage to the point where for me it affects the quality of the card and it's not as nice to look at. And then moving down the scale basically to the bottom, this is a heavy played or damaged card. Basically everything from the previous tier but worse. This card I'm showing in particular is maybe at the top end of this category as the edges aren't too bad, but the surface is just insane. And the corners on the back have seen much better days. Again, definitely avoiding this quality. So I hope that gives you an idea of what I am after in this collection video and the kind of sweet spot that I'm looking for in terms of a collection. I went through a lot of listings on eBay and noticed that the expensive listings would always show a very clear picture of Charizard and the condition that it's in, whereas the cheaper ones would keep Charizard in a binder and not even take a close-up picture of it, or cover an area of the Charizard with their thumb when they take a picture, so you presumably can't see the big crease or tear in the card. Let's face it, if they had a great condition Charizard, they would want to show it off. So you might be thinking, well, how did you get scammed then? If you were looking out for that, then what went wrong? Well, I had a running theory that I'm not too proud of now that is based on some truth. Basically, sometimes eBay sellers aren't the most tech savvy. Some listings might have really bad pictures or descriptions despite being a really good deal. A diamond in the rough, if you will. And I thought I'd found my diamond. This listing's pictures weren't great, which would instantly put off prospective buyers, but even with these bad pictures, from what I could see, it looked like it was in good condition. Now, if they looked good in bad pictures, then I would assume that they're maybe like 2 tiers down worse quality than I expect, which if they looked near mint, then a couple tiers down from that is the kind of quality that I'm after. Another aspect was the price. This listing was originally up for £700, which was much more expensive than other listings that showed much better pictures and had cards that seemed like in much better condition. So the price paired with the bad pictures made me think everyone is just ignoring this listing and no one would even click on it. Except for me. But I had a trick up my sleeve. You see, if I could DM them and ask for close-up pictures of particular cards that I want to see the condition of, I'd have extra info to make a judgment call on. Info that other prospective buyers wouldn't have access to. Now, I know that that is the bare minimum that you should do on eBay, ask for pictures, close-ups of the things that you're trying to buy. But at the time, I really thought I was like hacking the system. So I DM'd them and said, "Hi, I'd love to see close-up pictures of the Charizard, front and back of the card, to see an idea of the condition of the card. Also, what kind of condition are all the cards in general? They look good from the photos, but it's hard to tell individually. Very interested in this, thanks." And he responded with just, "Hello." I'm kidding, but he sends all of his messages separately, so it felt like that. Yes, of course, I will send it to you this afternoon. In general, most of them are mint. Blastoise, Alakazam, they are a bit beat up. Charizard is nearly mint. And Venusaur mint. But I will show you. But it sounds good. Blastoise and Alakazam are the only ones that are a bit beat up that he's mentioning. And Charizard's near mint. Obviously, he might be overselling himself a little bit, so let's say it's like excellent. And Venusaur's mint. Mint condition Venusaur? This is too good to be true. But then he does send me a close-up pictures of a lot of the cards. And you see here the Charizard. I give a quick zoom in to check out the corners for any edge wear or whitening. And I can't see anything. Obviously, this quality of the picture, even though I've asked for a close-up, is still not a great quality photo. But I'm looking for like the corners maybe having a sign that it's turning up a little bit or like bending or fraying. And the right corner is maybe the only one that looks like it could have a little bit of something going on. And then he sends a picture of the back of the Charizard as well, which is what I asked for. Now, notice the sleeve is clear. It seems like a strange thing to bring up, but you'll need that information for later. From the back of the card, you can definitely see some whitening around the corners, but in general, the card looks in the kind of condition that I would be after. Right, I don't need a mint condition Charizard, and from what I can see, this seems like it's pretty good condition. He then also takes a picture of a couple of the other cards, like the Blastoise, that does look kind of beat up, but in that same picture, you can see there's a Chansey, and the Chansey is got a lot of scratches on the holo, but if that's what he is considering a beat-up card, then I'm not too bothered about it. Now, obviously, looking back at this Venusaur, you can tell from the bends in the corners of the card that it is probably not mint, despite him describing it as that, but it does look like it's in quite good condition. And then with that photo, he says, yes, most of them are mint or near mint, which obviously that's just going off his word and these kind of blurry pictures. At this point, I'm kind of just ignoring these red flags that are very obvious. I assume at this point that it's because they're a bad eBay seller, right? And that they're just bad with technology. So I'm being a little bit naive and still think that this is a pretty good deal. Not for £700 though. So I send this DM. Thanks for sending additional pictures. With the quality of the photos and purchasing it online being risky, I wouldn't be able to pay anything more than £500 on this, especially with some being beat up. If that's too low for you, then I understand. Thanks again. Which again is worth pointing out that the sale at this point was priced £700. I mentioned that because he lowers it later on, spoiler alert, because there were other base set collections that were available that had clearer pictures that you could see the condition of the cards, but the cards weren't in that great condition, especially the Charizard, which was the main one that I'm after, and this collection's Charizard actually looked quite good. So I shot my shot. I shot an offer that I thought was fair. He replied saying, well, I think that is cool. I was expecting a little bit more, but I think is okay. Which sounds like we've got a deal. And I guess he sat and thought about it for a bit because 2 hours later, he says, hey mate, I have updated my post. Now is 575 due to market. I've been checking prices. I'm going to leave the post for 1 week. If there is no other buyer for 500 plus, I will let you know. Which I think is a very fair thing to do. Like I said, maybe he's just not very good with technology or eBay in general, because he seems willing to be able to do a deal. And if you can't get anyone to buy for more than 500, then I'll get it for 500, which seems like a great deal. He then throws in, if we do 540, it is for you. So I was like, that's fair. Let me know in a week. I was also kind of betting on the fact that the lack of close-ups in his original post would mean that most people just wouldn't be bothered clicking on it anyway. So I kind of called his bluff. And so a week goes by and he messaged me, hey mate, seems like people offering too low, or saying that Blastoise is not damaged and trying to reduce price for £100 just for Blastoise. I don't think he means to say not damaged here, because that doesn't make any sense. Maybe he means two? Like Blastoise is too damaged and they're trying to reduce £100 just for Blastoise? Which is kind of what I'm doing. I'm reducing this by £100, right? I'm only paying 500 and he's got it there for 575. And I take the fact that he's messaging me as like the okay, right? That he wants an offer of £500 from me and he'll take it. So I am a little bit cheeky here. I go and offer £500 and realize it's going to charge me £510 and 35 pence because of shipping. And whether it's trying to get a cheeky deal or trying to OCD wrap it up to an equal value, I offer him £489 and 65 pence so that it is a clean 500 that I'd be giving him. And so I sent him that with a message saying, hey, I sent over an offer of £489.65, so it's 500 including shipping. Hope that's okay. Very excited about this. Which he doesn't have to accept, but I thought that was fair. However, he cancelled the offer and then messaged me saying, hey mate, sorry, I cancelled by mistake. Sorry. Shoot me a new one. Postage cost usually buyer pays for them, not the seller. Which I'm like, no, I understand like the concept. First of all, I feel like usually the seller does pay. It's very common to have like postage and packaging included in a price. But I was like, yeah, I know that on the listing it says that I pay, but I was just trying to do a deal. I don't think he understood that I was trying to do a deal. So I explained, I was like, the seller can pay for it, but if you don't want to do that, I'll offer £500 plus postage. And then he replied with, I have the option that says the buyer pays. That's what I'm telling you, mate. I hope this works for you. Thanks, mate. And before I send him the offer, he replies with, I will send the cards with no binder. Is that okay for you? Which, yeah, I'm definitely okay with that, obviously, because sending the binder would cost a lot. But now this is red flag that I am noticing. I'm like, I'm so close to buying this, and he's talking about like how the cards are going to be sent. I am terrified of the condition that they're going to be sent in. So I'm like, hey, make it 100% clear. As long as all the cards are sleeved and protected in shipping, then that is fine. And he said, I will protect the cards nice, no worries, which is all I cared about. So I send through the offer and he accepts £500 for a full base set collection. I've finally done it. I got a good deal. I found my diamond in the rough and everything went great, right? Right? Then after sending in the money, he then DMs me saying, hey mate, FYI, the Royal Mail service is $9.75, so I will send you the 60p back. I'm kind of new in eBay. I have to check how to refund you. Sorry about that. Which you could view as like, it's sweet that he's trying to go out of this way to make sure that he's giving me money back for the shipping that it didn't cost him. But like, man, is this, looking back, is this crazy that I didn't see any of the red flags? So this is the point in the video where you're probably like, yeah, you're an idiot. You're a big, dumb, stinking, stupid boy. And you're right, yeah, big dum-dum, big arrows. Edit me, point arrows at me, pointing at me, I'm the idiot. Just like in the Pokemon Center scam video, I should have definitely like read reviews on the website or even just watched someone open this product before buying it. But to be clear, that doesn't make it not a scam. Just because I didn't do my due diligence to make sure that I don't get scammed doesn't then mean that they didn't scam me. If I visited a war zone without a bulletproof vest, I'd be an idiot. But if I get shot, I still get shot. So similarly with this situation, maybe I should have taken a little bit of due diligence and, I don't know, looked at their eBay profile that despite having 100% satisfactory rate, it was only from one review. And now making this video, I realized that I was literally their first ever sale on eBay. So I don't even think that one 100% review was true. I ignored all the red flags all of the way. So please, you can call me an idiot in the comments. That is fine. I accept that. But what you can't do is deny what happened next being a scam.
This is literally like a couple of hours after I've purchased the base set from the crazy guy. And he sent me this message, which I'll put on screen. So he says, I don't know whether to laugh or cry, honestly. He says, "Hey mate, I screw it. Don't ask why, how, or when. They're all questions I want to ask. But Charizard has some black marks on the back of the card, which I will remind you, he has sent me a picture of the back of the card, and it looks like this. So, again, my thoughts are why, how, or when. Because if it was fine less than a week ago, what has he been doing to it since? How did he package it? How are all the cards looking? Why the Charizard out of all of them? He then says, once it arrives, if you're not okay with the condition of that, you can contact me and we do refund and I'll pay postage costs. No worries. I don't know. I should have known that working with this guy, doing any business with this person was insane because of the way he was talking to me. But I'm an idiot, I guess. If it's like really damaged, I think a partial refund, we can maybe talk through it. But I couldn't even explain to the guy that I wanted like a discount that rounded it all up to £500 for postage. So if I can't explain that, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to explain that I want like a partial refund. Bro, I just like... It's not even a scam, is it? Are all the pictures fake? Because they're all awful quality, but he sent me more pictures of the Charizard. So he had a Charizard, and the picture of the Charizard, like, is a bad picture, as in, like the quality of the picture is really bad, but the look of the quality of the Charizard actually looks okay, even though the quality of the picture's bad, right? Like, it's not a Gem Mint 10, but it's not that scuffed. You can't see much whitening around the edges. Granted, you can't see much around the edges because there's not many pixels. But I should have known when he said he'd send me the 60p back that this guy is a fucking melt. At this point in my Pokemon YouTube career, which is not very far, I have done two things. I have gone to that fucking Pokemon store and been scammed, in my opinion. And this is the second thing that I have done. I just want to do Pokemon videos, bro. I just want to own base set. Look, dude, that could have been mine. Like, you can't... It's like the quality of the photo isn't great because you can't really read that even says Game Freak Wizard of the Coast 1999. But, like, it's pretty fucking... It looks like it's in good condition. And I was like, oh, did he just scam me and not send me a picture of the back? He sent me a picture of the back. Oh shit! Wait. I've just had a brain blast now. Did he send me a picture of the back of a different card? So it's the back of the Charizard has always had a black mark on it, and he sent me a different fucking card back. Oh, fuck me. He's done that, hasn't he? Can you send videos on eBay? Could I have requested a video of him doing it? I also don't know what I do now. What do I do now? I think I just want the cards. I think I say that I want the cards, and if there's damage, we could do a partial refund. I think I say that now, so he sends the cards. Hey, maybe... What is it he says exactly? Charizard has some black marks on the back of the card. So black marks, the fact that they're black makes me feel like it's like dirt, right? Like old grime, which is removable. If it's a scratch, then that's bad. But I also don't think scratches would be black, right? Am I coping? I think I'm coping a little bit. Why can't I just go, all right, dude? I think I get it, see how bad the condition is, and probably ask for a partial refund. And then maybe even try and get it cleaned. I've seen people do that online. Maybe I do that. That's why I'm here. Don't make the same mistakes as I did. I guess. I don't fucking know.
So I sent him a DM saying to send it anyway and mention the idea of a partial refund. I would have asked him to send a picture of the black marks on the back of the card, but my thought process was that he would just send a different picture, and the only way for me to know the real damage would be to see it in person, especially because of how bad quality the pictures were from before. I'd also already put so much time and effort into this particular purchase, I didn't want it to be completely wasted. So if I got the cards, I could at least pay what I felt was worth it for them and get the rest back in a refund. And I can make that judgment call seeing the cards in person and the condition of them. He didn't really understand how partial refund works, so I sent him a screenshot of how to do it and explained that when I see the condition of the cards, we can discuss the amount that it should be. He then says, I still think 500 is okay, which is totally insane, obviously. Hey, this thing I sold you is completely damaged, but you know, it's still worth the exact same value as I sold it you before you knew it was damaged, so it's okay. Anyway, I can't do anything until I see the actual condition of the cards and discover what the black marks on the back of it are, so I waited until the package arrived. I didn't want to do this today, I feel really ill, but I got this in the post yesterday, and then I heard that eBay only gives 3 days after a product's delivered to make sure that it's like good for you to like request like a refund or whatever, so I'm not gonna get fucking scammed on this just because I didn't open it within 3 days. But also I wanted to record it and I don't have a good setup yet. So this is what we've got. I've got my phone jankily in this thing and I'm here. I want a proper setup. You guys have probably seen me at the good setup, but I don't have that yet. So my base set full collection with the Charizard that I think is just cringe. Okay. The fuck is this? Isn't it a glasses case? God. Okay. Yeah, this is stuck together. Got some cotton bud things in. Okay, these are just the regular base set cards. Are they not? They've got to be sleeved, right? Okay, they are all sleeved. Some of them are in top loaders, some of them aren't. Okay. Oh, and here's the top loaders. There's the Zard. Okay, I'll save them to last. I didn't realize that would be the heavy hitters. So some of these aren't even in. Okay, well, yeah, we'll save that. Let's see what else this is. So here's the basic cards. I'm guessing the commons, energies, trainer cards. Dude, imagine if these are fake. I'm worried now. I'm trying to look not through the camera. They don't look fake. Charmander and the Pikachu kind of sick. They're in seemingly good condition. Whitening around the edges for sure. Nowhere near PSA 10. I'm gonna need to take all of these out of their sleeves and double check them. Okay, and then what's this? Bro, he shoved this shit in a fucking... This is used to hold card sleeves? That's interesting. I guess it works. Didn't... Oh, dude, that Voltorb's bad condition. Oh, the Starmie is rough. Okay, Arcanine, Electabuzz, I want to check. Okay, we got some hollows there too. Right, let's leave those then. Such a weird order to pack them in. Okay, and then we've got some hollows and then non-hollows surrounding them. I don't know, it's very strange. So we have the Mewtwo, which has a big mark on it. Damn, a huge scratch there. He said Blastoise and Alakazam, they are a bit beat up. Charizard is nearly mint and Venusaur mint. I will show you. And they're the ones that he showed. He said most of them are mint or near mint. Brother, this is not mint or even close to near mint. Look at that scratch. Damn. Okay, well that's problem number one. I think near mint is maybe a stretch, but sure. I would definitely say moderate play. Bro, that is fucking heavy play. That's crazy. That is not anywhere close to near mint. And I feel like I'm going to be pretty lenient on some of these, right? Like, I'll say that one's okay. And this is without even taking them out of the sleeves. Like, I don't even need to. Again, a ton of scratches. I'd say that's pretty not mint. Pretty not mint. Scratches everywhere. Like if you were to describe these are play, right? Whether it's light, moderate, or heavy, these are not near mint in any descriptor, right? What did he say about? He said Blastoise and Alakazam, they are a bit beat up. So I agree, yeah, but most of the cards that you're sending me, brother, are this level. The Magneton is maybe in the best condition, which is so funny, because the whole entire hollow is like fully scratched. Damn, okay. And then just a random trainer within that. Yep, love that. Hitmonchan, pretty bad condition. You can see all of the scratches on there, bro. This is like really bad. Not £500 worth for sure, even if the Charizard was in good condition. Because he said Charizard is nearly mint and Venusaur is mint, so we will get to those. The Chansey, again, look at all the scratches on the hollow. But this is being so lenient saying that these are even close to mint. And we have the Machamp, beat up as hell. Whitening at the bottom. Gyarados, sick art though. Damn, this makes it so bittersweet, man, because I want to be so excited. I want to be happy about these cards. Okay, in general, like, that's not good condition, but I will, like... Okay, and then... Okay, and I'm assuming these three are the Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard. So let's start with maybe the Venusaur. Okay. It does... I think a lot of the scratches are potentially on the actual top loader there. Now, the ends are bent. And then look at the hollow. What did he said Venusaur mint. He said this was mint, bro. Oh no. Now, part of this is obviously on me, right? First of all, let's check the backs. Because he said there's like 2 big black marks on the Charizard now that he fucking put there. Oh, it's so bittersweet, dude. Like, my first base set collection, this is sick. But then, for this to be called mint and it just not be, is so sad. Okay. Well, you were supposed to be mint, my friend, but you are not. But I think, honestly, he's as good as quality as these. These ones down here, this pile, bro, this being near mint is diabolical. Look at that. It looks like it's being held together by the fucking sleeve. Okay, now he did describe the Blastoise as, oh, I've just seen the back of the Charizard. Hey, let's not think about it. Let's put it to the side. Right, the Blastoise is supposedly very beat up. Now, it looks in better condition than the fucking Mewtwo! I mean, it's obviously not in good condition, right? But yeah, I mean, it is scratched to fuck. I would describe it as beat up. So the fact that he said Blastoise and Alakazam are a bit beat up, I would describe this as beat up. That is very fair. Describing the other card, sorry, not describing the other cards as a bit beat up is crazy. The back of this Blastoise is diabolical. Well, this is definitely a beat up, so I'm putting it, like, if we're doing lots, These down here, these are the beat up ones. And these are the, I don't know, the light play, right? I still need to go through this pile. And unfortunately, we have this. This Charizard. That actually, out of all of the cards, the reason that I paid £500 for this listing was this Charizard. It was specifically because of the condition that this Charizard was in. I wanted a whole entire base set, so that's something I was looking for, but I was looking for a Charizard that didn't have any bent corners, that didn't have any crazy markings on it, that was like lightly scratched on the surface. Something that was light play, that was maybe like this, a lightly scratched Charizard is like £200 to £300. The condition of this card was carrying the whole entire purchase in my eyes. If it didn't come with this, there is no way that I would be paying any sort of same price for everything but this. The back. Obviously, I'm going to take it out of its... Is it stuck in the sleeve? Wait. My god, no. Oh, nerve-wracking. Oh my god, I thought it was stuck in the sleeve. Holy shit. Okay. Bro. It's been drawn on. And look at the back. Look at this. You can't see that from the front even like at all. Look at the angle that you can put it at so it avoids that fucking crease. Bro. Well, I'm putting it in a new sleeve. I don't want to touch it. That is insane. There is no... I know, obviously, this is going to be so obvious to you guys watching this video that, like, the guy is fucking scamming, right? So I'm not having to explain it to you. But how the fuck does this happen in his... let me get his exact wording. Hey mate, I screw it. Don't ask why, how, or when, but Charizard has some black marks on the back of the card. Once it arrives, if you're not okay with the condition, you can contact me, we can do a refund. He said, the day when I sent you the picture, maybe I screw it up. That's not this that I am looking at right here. There is no universe, right, that this happens when you take it out to take pictures of it. Because I asked him to send pictures, and he sent me a front, which is... yes, that is good. That is it's a bad picture, but it's not too bad. And then he sends me the back of a different card. There is no universe that whatever has happened here happened when he took it out of the sleeve, because it's not even the same sleeve, brother. You've put it in a black sleeve. The sleeve's not the same. Ah, he's full on fucked me here. Ah. Okay, as it comes down to it here, I think I want to keep all of these cards. I am not fucking sending them back to him. So I am going to ask for a partial refund. And I think I'm going to look through these in my own time, figure out whether these are actually in alright condition and whether I'm happy with them. I honestly have no idea how much I'd be willing to pay for this. I think this Charizard, in the condition that it is like a PSA 1. And that's like, I'm not even going to judge it off a PSA 1 price, because that would be a graded thing, which at least adds like £15 onto it. So I honestly, I don't know what to do next. I don't know how I'm going to resolve any of this. I just really hope that the guy who said he would give me a refund actually goes through with it and does do a partial refund. I think this is going to be a nightmare. I'll update you guys along the way. There might be more updates, but this is it for now. So I took a while and had a look through some pricings online and found some badly beat up Charizards for about £100. And then I averaged out the price of the rest of the collection at around £150 based on their condition. So felt that a 50% refund would be fair. And even then it's pushing it a little bit. I still feel like I'm getting ripped off because, I don't know, the guy scammed me. Like, I think we can be 100% clear in the back of that Charizard, there is no way that happened after the purchase had gone through. There's 2 different pen marks, and I wasn't trying to mince my words when responding to him. I'd been pretty nice about everything up to this point, mainly because I was just praying that the condition of the cards wouldn't actually be that bad, but it was, so I let him know. Hey, so I've taken a look at the cards, including the Charizard, and to put it bluntly, There is no way that the marks on the back of that card happened after you sold it me. I asked for pictures and you sent me the back of a different card. Also, a lot of the cards were not mint or near mint, like he said previously. Most were moderate play and some were heavy play. You told me about the Alakazam and Blastoise being beat up, but didn't say the Mewtwo, Raichu, Poliwrath, Hitmonchan, and Zapdos were as well. I would say none of the cards you sent me were mint, and at best, some are near mint. And when I say that, I'm not referring to basically any of the holos. I don't think there was a single holo card that was even close to near mint. I'm talking about most of the commons and the uncommons. There was a couple that I would consider near mint, but not a single one that I thought was mint even slightly. I don't want anything bad to come of this. I would just like to pay a fair price for the cards you have sent me. I think based on the fact that you lied to me multiple times in multiple ways, getting a £250 refund would be more than acceptable. And then I explain the £100 for a Charizard plus £150 for everything else. I hope you send this, as I wouldn't want to have to escalate this to eBay, which sounds, I think, a little bit like a threat now that I'm reading it back, but I didn't mean it in that way. I was genuinely not wanting to fuck this guy over if he wanted to like keep his eBay account open. Thinking about it now, that's kind of a selfish way to deal with this, because if this guy's gonna go off scamming more people in the future, he wouldn't be able to if I'd left a negative review and let eBay know. But in my head, I was being nice to him for some reason, and I felt really bad, like destroying this guy's chances at selling on eBay. I don't know. And then he replied, "Hello, I never planned to lie. That's why I told you about the Charizard the day I sent it." I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I never meant to lie. That's why I told you after you paid the money. £250 as a refund is too much. You can send all them back to me and I will give you a full refund, which is a fair thing to offer. But in my head, A, I don't want to send them back because he would just scam someone else. And B, like I mentioned before, the amount of time and effort that has already gone through this, for me to then spend even more time and effort to send them back to basically be a net zero seemed like such a waste. I understand your frustration, and honestly, I don't pretend to scam people. No, you don't pretend to scam people because you have scammed me. What do you mean pretend? Calm down, calm down. When I told you that you are free to send them back to me if you don't like the conditions of the cards. He's right, he did say that. That doesn't then mean that you didn't scam me, but sure. I think £350, it is a fair trade. So I think that means they're not refunding me £350, he means refunding me £150. If not, feel free to send them back to me and I will pay for the costs, no worries. Sorry about that, my intention, it wasn't to scam you. Well, I feel like there is no universe that pen happened after I paid the money. So at some point you definitely scammed me and intended to, because you received the money before telling me about the real condition of the cards. Let me know and we can sort this situation today. Many thanks. So at this point, I just kind of wanted him to admit the Charizard thing. Be honest, what condition was the Charizard in when you purchased the cards? You said it happened after you sent me a picture, which means the mark on the back of the Charizard was before I purchased it, right? And then he says, honestly, I've been showing Charizard in too many pictures. What does that mean? Charizard's a slag, is that what you're saying? The day when I took the picture, it was without pen marks. So both two lots of pen marks happened on this card, apparently. And also, I can't remember whether I've mentioned this at this point in the video, the sleeve I received it in was a black sleeve. It's obviously not the same sleeve. You've re-sleeved it to try and hide the pen marks because you knew there was pen marks. The original sleeve was clear. I know you can swap sleeves, but why would you swap the sleeves of a card? You just took the picture of a different back of a card, right? We can agree. I need to stop harping on it because I'm arguing with the guy that I'm selling with, not with the viewer. I'm sure you guys agree at this point. If you don't agree, I don't know what else to do. I don't know when this happened, if showing pictures putting into the envelope, but yeah, when I realized, I sent you the message and told you that if you're not happy, tell me and we sort it out. As I told you, I don't want to scam you, and I understand how frustrated you can be after paying £500 for a product that you are expecting near mint. To be honest, all the rest of the cards, I think they are not damaged or heavily played. And now he's gaslighting me. I have the cards. Again, apologies, but £250, it is too cheap for the whole set. Even £300 is a really low price for that set. What can I say? Sorry about that. Well, you're obviously not sorry, mate, because you feel like the condition of the cards is really good when they're actually not. So then I reply, I can send pictures of the holo cards and their conditions if you'd like, because you described all cards apart from Blastoise and Alakazam as mint or near mint, which is just not the case. And again, to the point where I would be happy if they were a couple of tiers below. But these are like, he's describing them as mint, and there's not a single card that I would describe as mint. And then even if you're going to say they're near mint, there is no hollow card in there even close to near mint. It would actually be really funny, just a huge waste of money, not that this isn't already. I should grade all of the cards in a really petty way to show that there aren't a single card in there that's near mint. That would be... I graded a whole entire base set collection to prove one seller wrong. New YouTube video. He didn't reply for a while, and I realized that carrying this on for any longer is just going to be even more of a waste of time than it has been already. So I replied with, I would prefer to not send all the cards back for a refund, as it will take time, and all of this will have been for nothing. At least if there's a partial refund, we both get something out of this time spent. I'm just looking to pay what these cards are worth, and as they are not in good condition, I don't want to pay that price. Which, obviously, I think that's fair because I'm the person that said it, but I think that's fair. And he replies with, I understand your point. Are you okay with a £150 refund? Obviously not, mate, because you've offered that twice and I'm saying no. I understand what you said to me, but it is too cheap for a complete base set, the quality you offered me as a refund. Let me know, thanks. So I reply with, I also understand you feel £250 is too low, but personally, I would feel awful knowing I sold something under false pretenses to someone else. If you had been honest from the beginning, then there wouldn't be any issues. The lowest I would go is a £200 refund, otherwise I will send back. So I kind of caved. I basically gave him an extra £50. Thinking about it now, it's like I gave him £50 so that I could never deal with him again, is essentially what I paid £50 to tell him to fuck off, which feels really bad, but he agrees. Despite reiterating, honestly, my intention was not to scam you, otherwise I would delete the account or something, but that's not how I do. Great, mate. That's not how I do. I sold more items after you. You were my first sell. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I was the first sale on his eBay account. I feel like such a mug. Apologies after all, mate. Honestly, okay, I will send you the refund. Have a nice one. So honestly, it hurts, knowing he's making money from being so unabashedly deceitful. But to look on the bright side, I officially own a full base set. It's been 6 months since this happened, and although making this video resurfaced just how angry this guy made me, I can see how funny and insane this story is. It is definitely something that I'll look back on fondly, especially the don't ask me how, why, or when line. That's so insane that he said that. Oh, and the last bit, I didn't even leave a negative review on this guy's eBay account because we came to a resolution, he sent me the refund and everything was sorted. But last month, 4 months after this sale had gone through, he DM'd me out of the blue. He said, and I quote, at the end, 300 for the complete base set? Was cheap, isn't it? Taking advantage, that was my first item sold. SDFU! Which I assume is him trying to swear at me without getting caught. And I'm just like, I don't understand what's going through this guy's brain. And so I replied to him. You sold me a damaged Charizard with 2 different pens drawn on the back and showed me a picture of a different card lying about the actual condition. You lied about the condition of every single card, saying they were mint or near mint when in reality they were all heavy played. And then you message me 3 months later? You scammed me and then say I'm taking advantage of you? Please get some help. My advice would be never sell Pokemon cards again. So I wanted to close out this video by going through all of the cards from this base set full collection. Because yeah, even though they are beat up and quite badly damaged, and even though this Charizard has some crazy marks on the back, it still looks really good from the front, looks great in a binder, and basically does exactly what I wanted it to do, which is let me relive my childhood owning a full base set collection. Because despite some of these cards being beat up like the Mewtwo is, seeing them like this in this binder still fills me with as much joy as it would 20 odd years ago, however long ago it was, when I last had these cards. And something that I realized I hadn't done in the rest of the video, because I was so harped on the fact that I got scammed and that the condition of the Charizard wasn't good, I didn't spend any time looking at some of these classic arts. Like, who really cares about Farfetch? Not me. But this Growlithe This Arcanine, this Charmeleon is so underrated as a card. And look at this Haunter, dude. The Haunter, the Ivysaur, Kadabra. This Kadabra is crazy cool, specifically because they stopped printing Kadabra cards, right? Because Pokemon got sued. So it's like one of the last ones ever printed up until recently. The Nidorino, the Poliwhirl, some amazing cards. And then look, we have a Bulbasaur. And we have a Charmander. And even that Caterpie's cool, man. I just wanted to end this video on a positive note. We obviously had the funny note of the guy messaging me randomly, but I really wanted to make sure that I included appreciating all of these common arts. Because look at that, how iconic that Pikachu is, dude. And I have that. That's mine now. And sure, it might not be like in mint condition, as the listing said. I mean, look at this top bit, if it will focus. There's a lot of whitening on that edge, whitening on this edge. The corners aren't great. It's probably near mint, though. Even though that's the case, it doesn't really matter. Because like I said, I can still appreciate the art. Speaking of which, there's the Squirtle and this Starmie. This Starmie's very iconic. Sandshrew, my friend Jamie loves Sandshrew. Shout out to him. And then you get the trainer cards, which I've been honest, many a time I don't really care about. This Imposter Professor Oak is actually really cool. It's just so random. Why did they make an Imposter Professor Oak? And this Scoop Up is kind of funny. And then, of course, you get the energies to close it out. And that's the full collection. So I just wanted to end this video saying, yeah, I know I got scammed by the condition of this card. And honestly, by the condition of a lot of the other cards in this collection. But I think the price that I paid is actually okay. £300 for this kind of collection is more than fair, especially since, like, in the last 6 months, that price has gone up by quite a bit. The main reason why I harped on so much about getting a discounted price and getting a refund is because he scammed me. I didn't care necessarily about paying a fair price for these cards because he lied up front about the thing that I was purchasing, so I should, in theory, get like a full refund because fuck that guy. Which is why I was so mad about it, but now looking back, despite the condition of this Charizard, I think overall, this wasn't too bad. I ended up not getting as badly scammed as I felt like I was. And it's definitely a story to tell, which is why I made this video, and I hope you guys appreciate the video. Make sure to give the video a like, give a comment, helps me in the algorithm, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future.